exercises and you're feeling a burn in your muscle, this is actually due to a buildup of lactic acid within the muscle.
As more and more research comes out, scientists are becoming more confident that we simply do not understand lactate and lactic acid. Lactate is a base and lactic acid is an acid. Really, the only difference is there are extra hydrogens on lactic acid. During exercise, we can produce lactate. And because lactate is a base, it can actually bind to these hydrogen protons, which are the molecules that make our muscles feel acidic and help us transport them out of the muscle. So in this case, lactate can actually reduce the acidity of our muscles. Additionally, there's more research coming out indicating that lactate is not a waste product. Lactate can simply be shuttled into a neighboring cell, and lactate can directly be used for energy the same way we use glucose. Lactate can also flow through the bloodstream and be used within the brain. And especially during exercise, the heart begins to upregulate its use of lactate for energy. And finally, lactate can even be brought to the liver, where the liver can essentially recycle this lactate, producing glucose, which is a process called gluconeogenesis. So in almost all scenarios, the lactate produced during energy metabolism is essentially utilized for energy by the heart, muscles, or even the brain. But it doesn't stop there, because lactate is actually a signaling molecule that regulates exercise-induced adaptations. Lactate induces mitochondrial biogenesis, which is essentially increasing the number of mitochondria within our cells, therefore increasing the amount of energy our muscles can produce, which is vital for getting better at exercise. Lactate can even increase the production of BDNF within the brain. And the best way to describe this molecule is it does improve our brain function by improving memory, learning, the survival of pre-existing neurons, and the ability to change our brain, referred to as neuroplasticity. Lactate can also activate an intracellular molecule called mTOR, which is best described as the master regulator of protein synthesis, and mTOR suppresses protein breakdown and increases protein synthesis. This molecule is activated by resistance training and protein intake, and its activity is also increased by lactate, which is yet another reason why lactate is so important for exercise adaptation. Within the brain, lactate is also responsible for reducing appetite, and it appears to be one of the most important mediating factors for exercise-induced appetite suppression, meaning the more lactate produced during exercise, the greater appetite suppression that exercise session will have. It can even act as an antidepressant. So whether or not lactate actually induces the burning sensations from exercise is still up to debate. But more and more evidence is leaning to the idea that it does not. But as you may be able to tell, lactate can 1, be used as an energy source, and 2, is an extremely potent signaling molecule. So given that you like all the things that you've heard, you may actually want to be chasing an increase in lactate during exercise. And lactate is increased in relation to the intensity of the exercise, meaning the higher intensity the exercise you do, the more lactate you will produce. With that being said, if you would like an individualized approach to nutrition and lifestyle to optimize your health, energy, and body composition, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.